Welcome to Who's This For? A podcast about creating with intention. I talk with artists, entrepreneurs, and media makers about connecting with their audience by focusing on a single person. If you create music, brands, experiences, or stories, this is the podcast for you.
Hey, thanks for joining us on another episode of Who's This For? And I want to thank announcer Scott at the start of this, because wow, way more succinct than real life Scott. Thanks, listener. Thanks for joining us today. I appreciate you joining on the show. If you're new to it, here's what the show is in a nutshell. We're an investigation of communicating authentically with people while still understanding that in communication, we have to be approachable by a broad community. So the show brings together artists, writers, musicians, filmmakers, business people, all sorts of types of people, because at our core, we're all just trying to communicate with another person, and that's really what I want to figure out. And so today I have a great guest to help me figure out another piece of that puzzle. Welcome to the show, Micah Davis.
Hey, Scott. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you. To get started, do you want to tell the listener a little bit about what you've done in your career? I definitely want to talk about the documentary series, but then what came before it. You want to just give us a little bit of that old CV?
I've been making videos full-time for the last 5 years. And it started off with making a walkabout, talk about at Blue Ox, actually. And that really took off, and I decided I could do it full-time. And so we've done a lot of interesting, creative, personal projects. Some of them have turned into professional projects.
Tell me a little bit more about Walkabout, Talk About. I know I've seen it and maybe been in one or two, but I want to hear about what that project is from you.
Sure, Scott. You've actually been in 3 Walkabout Talkabouts.
3?
You've been in 3 of them. Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
So, and I don't think anyone's even been in 2. And 2 of them were completely random. The first one, we met you at Eau Claire's. I got the shirt on for that, actually. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
So we met you at Eau Claire's.
Oh, throwback.
You were rocking the Converge booth, I believe, or the Blue Gold Radio booth, one of the two.
I think it was Blue Gold Radio at the time, but I don't really remember where we're at in that timeline.
Yeah, and then we were filming the Walkabout, Talk About on the buses, and you were just at the downtown transfer center. And we were like, oh, Scott, oh, good. Because we were actually sweating bullets on that project, man. It was a little intimidating because with the bus rides, like, people aren't hanging out for hours in places. They're always going somewhere. And it was really hard to find willing interview participants. So we're like, oh, it's Scott. Oh, God, we got to get Scott on the show. Oh, good.
I loved it.
And
I was glad I was literally just riding the bus that day.
yeah, and you've got an excellent soundbite in there, the very high energy part of the video. So we're very grateful to you for that. Yeah, and so the Walkabout Talkabouts I was working at community television, and there you just get to use the equipment for whatever you want. Whereas if I worked at a news station, you can't just take the equipment and go mess around. It needs to be part of official duties. At community television, the equipment's there for people in the community to mess around with, which is pretty cool. And let's see, I know what it is. I knew that you could get a media pass to get into music festivals for free.
Oh,
I knew that was the thing. And I was like, I know I can get in, but I need to get my wife in too, of course. What can I do to make a video with Jenna? So this is actually how Walkabout Talk About started. It was a devious little scheme to get us into music festivals for free.
To get that old 2-for-1 media pass.
Exactly. And they probably would have given me
an
extra pass anyways, I found out later, but that's fine. So
I was going to tell you that too.
But it's okay. It worked out well. And we just came up with the idea that I could get video. I'll be the videographer while Jenna interviews people that we just meet on the street. And we went, and it was April, and we went to Phoenix Park and a little bit downtown, and we were slightly caffeinated at the time, and we got all jazzed up, and we filmed the first one, and we were like, dude, that was super fun. We want to do more of this. And then with that year, we got into Eau Claire's together, and we met Scott Morfitt for the very first time, which is wonderful. And that's turned out to be a very fruitful relationship in many ways. And we've done 2 for Blue Ox. One of them we actually got paid for. We did one for Wonders of Nature grand opening in downtown Eau Claire, our wonderful cannabis provider, Chris. And he paid us a little bit for that one. And we did one on the buses. That was a very big one. That was exciting. the bus about. That's Eau Claire Transit still
Right.
gushes about that one. It's still something that they all talk about and get excited about. And that was 5 years ago. And then we've done another one for Jonah. We did one in downtown Eau Claire about people connecting with other people, which is a great theme for a Walkabout Talk About.
Oh, yeah. That's the theme of this program, too, connecting with people. I think it's interesting that you started these Walkabout Talkabouts really before the modern kind of prevalence of people doing person on the street interviews. I think about those random TikToks where people either get people to say something slightly sexual or funny or whatever. But yours really had more of a intent behind them, it seemed, to have a real conversation.
Absolutely, yeah. And Jenna, she really enjoys connecting with people. And there's always one thing that I love about Walkabout Talkabouts. There's always the hugging at the end where everyone gets a hug with Jenna. And I usually hop off the camera and get a hug. So it's really about truly wanting to connect with each other. And typically the conversations are centered around thinking about the world in a more positive, appreciative way, as opposed to political questions or something.
When you're both like conducting these interviews, but also editing these interviews, how do you view the audience participating in them?
Yeah, let's see. So when we're doing it, when we're doing the interviews, Jenna is completely focused on the people, that's for sure. And I am there with an eye towards, okay, what do we need to make this work for the viewer? And I think a lot of times we want the viewer to be uplifted is a big part of it, and to feel a connection to Jenna and the people talking. I want them to feel like they're part of the conversation. I think a big thing is simply the questions that we choose are really important, and also the vibe that we have too. A lot of the people on the street ones, sometimes it's almost like you're punking the person being interviewed and surprising them with something or trying to make them look foolish. And our goal is to simply, let's hear what you have to say about what we're talking about here. And like with the bus one, it was just focusing on, what do you like about riding the bus? A very simple question, but very important. What do you meet people on the bus? Oh, yes, I do. And we love connecting with them. So they're just pleasant questions. It's a very easy show to be on, we hope. There's no brain teasers.
What do you learn about people as you're doing these interviews? I know you get their answers, but do you learn anything about how they're responding, just in how they're trying to be helpful, etc.?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Some people are very eager to say it's an interesting conditioning thing. When there's a camera there and a microphone there, people want to say what they think the video wants us to say. We have an open-ended question at the end, which is there anything else you'd like to say to the people out there watching? And they'll say something like, thank you so much for watching the show. When it's their chance to say anything, they could talk about some political cause they're passionate about. They could say, hi, Mom, but they say something like, we'll see you on the next episode, or something like that. Like something very canned and cheesy that you would think we told them to say. So people usually want to be helpful. We do have one person on the show who has peeked at the questions, and we always see him trying to peek at the questions before he answers. That's Scott Morfitt. I don't know if you were cognizant of that, but I would always see like Scott's trying to see what the next question is.
I don't try to write other people's interviews, but sometimes I accidentally do.
So I always thought that was amusing. I don't know if anyone else has. Maybe it's because you've been on the show 3 times. I finally noticed a pattern, but
I love it.
Jen and I always get a good giggle out of that. It's like, oh, gentlemen, let me show you where Scott's peeking at the question here. Look, he's peeking over there. So that's why his answers are so good.
I want to talk about a newer project that I've gotten to see most of, and that's a really unique documentary you've done. You want to give us the background on it?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So there's a video series that Steve Betchkel and I just completed called The City for the Trees. And Steve and I are both big fans of trees. We actually made a video about trees, 4 years ago or so, called Champion Trees, featuring our city forestry supervisor, Matt Staudenmeyer. And that was actually how I won my first and only Emmy so far. It's right there. It's not usually there and lit up, but I thought it was shiny and nice for the image. So that's pretty cool. And Steve and I, that video was a labor of love. We didn't get paid anything for it. We just did it because we both are very passionate about trees. We both appreciate them a lot and realize the importance of trees in our community. And recently, the Chippewa Valley Biodiversity Partnership, which is a union of, Beaver Creek Preserve, Jonah, and I actually don't remember everybody because it's a lot of folks, like some master gardeners, some prairie club. I apologize for not knowing everyone offhand, but it's a lot of good folks. A lot of folks coming together to promote a healthy environment in our community, or an environment for our community. And they approached us and said, hey, we are applying for a grant through the Pablo Foundation. Can you give us an estimate on what it costs to do some stuff? I was like, okay, sure. I was like, when will you know that you have the grant? We said, in November. Okay, when does it need to be done by? May 30th. I'm like, oh, dear Lord, for filming a documentary about trees, we have from November till May 30th to do it. So I actually began filming in September.
Ooh.
I was just like, you know what? Even if we don't get the money, we'll just do another one because we love trees. So I went out and frantically grabbed some fall foliage. I got the drone out. I did bike rides with the GoPro on the bike, biking past trees. And then they got the money, so we were like, okay, that's nice. And the video really focuses on how important trees are. It touches upon some of the benefits of trees. It talks about the importance of green space for people's well-being. And it talks about how much pavement we have in Eau Claire in some places, and how some neighborhoods have more trees than others, and that the people in those neighborhoods where they have less trees actually suffer from their lack of trees. And people in neighborhoods with lots of trees get a great benefit from it. And that with the Century Code update coming in Eau Claire, making sure that there's mindfulness towards having an equal number of trees in different neighborhoods.
Yeah, it was really interesting talking about communications, because I really shined through that the amount of trees and foliage and how landscape design works is really a way we're communicating how we're valuing the people that are in those exact spaces and what the spaces are used for. I even realized through watching it that some areas that I love for entertainment at night, the venue areas of downtowns and like those areas, how during the day they're actually not that eco-friendly and like really good for us. And that was really interesting to me.
Yeah, and I think we have a fabulous downtown when it comes to music, for instance. That's what I go to downtown for.
Oh, yeah.
And it's an amazing downtown for that, but there's not a lot of canopy coverage, for sure. And Steve and I were actually filming downtown in the heat of the day, and we actually got like dehydrated and almost got a little sick because it was so hot and there were no trees around to shade us, because that's what we were filming. We were there to film how we had these deserts in the middle of town, and it was just ironic, or I don't know, it was interesting that we actually got sick from it. And then we went and we were filming nice cool trees. We're like, oh, thank goodness, this feels so much better.
Do you think that there is some more universal truths in this documentary that go beyond just like the Eau Claire experience?
Undoubtedly, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a very Eau Claire focused video. We say Eau Claire several times. We show prominent locations in Eau Claire. We're not trying to pretend like this is a universal video necessarily. It's generally speaking with art, when you make something very specific, it can become more general for people, because Eau Claire is a fairly typical looking town. It's beautiful, but it could stand in for a lot of towns throughout a lot of the country, certainly in the eastern half. And I would say that a city like Denver probably has a different view of trees than Eau Claire does. Out in Denver, trees are a little bit harder to come by, and the trees that they have there are weeds here. But I do think there's a lot of general things that are going on that we talk about in the video that apply to anywhere in the world that values trees.
I really appreciate the way you said that too, where like the specifics become general. Do you think that happens a lot in life as you're experiencing things, as you're experiencing media?
Yeah, I know. I've heard it said too that the more personal you make your art, if you can make it intensely personal and extremely eccentric and strange in a way that you think no one else could possibly understand, because this is such a weird Micah thing that I'm doing right now. Something about I think maybe it's just because you're being so genuine. That might be what it is. You're just being so authentic and real. That shines through. But also, too, I guess we all have a secret corner of ourselves that we think is very strange. And when you can penetrate to that secret corner of yourself and share it, then other people get in touch with that part of themselves. Even if it's not the same quirky things, they'll recognize it as, oh, that's really weird. I have some weird things about me, too. And it can be a very healthy thing.
When you're editing, because I know video editing can take a ton of time. The video editing on this podcast does not take me a ton of time.
That's good.
But editing like a real documentary does, because you have so many shots, you're intercutting audio, etc. How do you, or do you have the audience in mind when you're going through some of those really repetitive tasks, or those tasks of just getting that scene cut, putting it in, etc.?
Yeah, ideally, I have the audience in mind almost constantly. I've heard that from, gosh, what's his name? Walter Murch. Is it Murch? Do you know that? Famous Hollywood editor. I think it's Merck or Murch. Walter Murch. I follow him a lot, and he talks about that you want to be like gently carrying the audience through the story and constantly just be like, here, take a look at this now, listen to this now, and that you should be constantly thinking of your audience. There's some basic technical things where the sound levels have to be right just so a human ear can hear them properly. But beyond that, who I think about when I'm editing a video with somebody in it, I'm actually thinking about that person seeing it themselves and thinking about what they'll think of it more than like someone else in an audience thinking about it. But of course, too, I realize lots of different people are seeing the video. And so I think at different times, I'll consider different audiences. And sometimes I'm considering, okay, what's my client going to think? That's really important when I'm getting paid. And I try not to let that overshadow what I think the audience will think, because really the video is for the audience. But also, too, sometimes you do have to be aware of, I know what I think the audience is going to want, but I know my client is going to want this instead. And hopefully I can convince them that what I'm thinking the audience wants is a better choice. You have to balance these things.
Oh, yeah. What you're talking about is the heart of marketing, especially very much so in a freelance or very much in a fractional way, that you really do want to look out for the audience. You want to look out for that end user, but you're also very much, okay, we need to have the client confident with what they're presenting, because also these messages that we're sending are hopefully building bridges between the audience and the organization, be it the client, the grant funder, or whatever, that there's building that cohesion. So it's a very interesting push-pull in communication, especially in communication we're paid for.
Yeah, and I was even thinking, too, if you make something that is going to be great for the audience, but the client doesn't like it, the audience will never even see it, because they won't even post it.
Exactly.
So you have to get through that client gateway. You have to do enough to get through that gateway to reach the audience and to get repeat business and stay in business.
Oh, yeah. Well, and hopefully, I feel like I'm very blessed, and I would say this even if I wasn't on a podcast, but I'm very blessed to have just clients that I love and that I'm super interested in what they're doing. And so that's the hope, is that we all find clients and projects that we're working on that we're generally jazzed about to begin with anyway. And then I think that all gets really copacetic and shines through, at least on my better days it does.
Yeah, and I agree, too, that I don't think there's too many videos I make that I'm not like at least fairly stoked about. We just did a video about trees. I'm wildly stoked to be a part of that. That is awesome. I love trees, and I think they're underappreciated. And I'm like genuinely like super excited to be a part of just getting that tree energy out into the world, man. It's just great. I'm so stoked about that. I'm working on another project right now for a local nonprofit called Childcare Partnership, and they help the childcare industry out. I'm so stoked to be helping them out with their project. And I'm doing another project about the Lived Experience Advisory Board, which is about including people that have lived experience as homeless people, getting them to the table when we're talking about programs for homeless people. And that's just like,
Wow.
and I'm a big homeless advocate. I feel very connected to that community. I think they're underappreciated I think they're doing a very important thing. And as part of our community, I think it's very mysterious what their relationship is to non-homeless people, but I think that they are a very valuable part of our community. And I'm on my bike all the time. I love saying hi to all my folks I know, saying hi to Pedro and Mike and Sam and getting high fives while I'm biking down the bridge. It's just awesome. Whereas other people are just turning their shoulder. It's like they're just missing out. So anyways, I'm so excited to be shining a light on those 3 things that I do. And those are just right now what I'm working on. I just finished the trees one. I'm working on childcare and homeless people. So stoked about it. And like that's extraordinarily helpful when it comes to making quality artwork, is that you're really stoked about it. Like I don't have to get myself like motivated to get energy for it.
It's interesting, and I don't think this one's a right or wrong. This is just an observation that I'm realizing as we're talking. It's so cool to me that your outgoing nature, that your friendliness, that you're wanting to be a part of the community also feeds into what you're making for the community. I think that's just so rad that it's really you in your work.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Scott. Yeah, people generally, when they meet me, on a good day at least, they're like, wow, dude, you got incredible energy, man. I love the vibe. And I hope that people, when they watch a video, they're like, this video's got really fun energy. I love the vibe. I hope it comes through. And it's something I try to be a little bit playful in life. I hope my videos feel playful and fun and creative.
They sure do. I finished this up with a dirty little secret that I ask everyone.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's a dirty one. It's definitely a dirty one in the creative community, but how are you using AI in your work?
Sure. Honestly, I wish I was using it more. I am underutilizing AI. The only AI I'm using is built into Premiere Pro, and I'm not even sure which tools are AI and which ones aren't. I think a lot of the sound editing is AI. Oh, I definitely use AI transcripts. I go through rev.com and the AI transcript. 2 years ago, I would have to go through and clean it up. Now it is perfect. The transcript is just spot on perfect.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's taking away like someone's livelihood, but I wouldn't want to make transcripts all the time personally. So that seems like a very good AI task. I don't like when I see AI making artwork. I think that is like probably going a little too far, but I like AI for technical things that people really don't want to do. I think that's perfect. And
something you wouldn't really want to hire for either, because like, I could find someone, I'm sure, if I spent some time, but I don't even know where I'd find a transcriptionist.
Right. And actually through rev.com, I'm not affiliated with them, but that's who I use. They have the option for a human transcript or an AI transcript. And I just opt for the AI one because it's faster, honestly. And it's much cheaper. It's like $1 per minute of video for a human and 25 cents per minute for AI. And sometimes I have like several hours of interviews and I just want it right away. And the AI is faster and cheaper. When it comes to captioning videos, I opt for the human caption because the human does a better job of some of the timing of it is better and adding better terms for some of the sound effects and describing the music more effectively and putting it in a nicer way. And also too, the captions, if I caption a video, it's going to be like a 5-minute video and not like an hour-long thing. So it's a much shorter thing.
Right.
So yeah.
It sounds like you're really intentional then about what the output of the work is and whether or not you'll use AI. I get it. You want to use AI for the notes, but then when you have the audience-facing work, let's get that human touch back in.
Yeah, I guess that's how you could put it for sure. But like I said, man, I'd be up for using more AI if I knew. I have a process and it works for me and I just do what I do. So I don't want to take the time to research another process. This is pretty good right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you need any help, you can always ask ChatGPT how to use ChatGPT.
Which I've never...
It is safe to say your work then has as much humanity as possible because you're not dipping into that AI pool too much. So that's great.
Yeah, all my research, I use Google to research. I'm not going to chat. Is it ChatGPT? I don't even know. GPT?
Oh, GPT.
Yeah, see, I'm slightly Amish here and proud of it.
Oh, that is fine. That is fine. You're getting into the community and you're doing the right things. And you're still making great work with some awesome gear. I can say that because I've seen a lot of your arsenal. You have some cool things you use.
Yeah.
Some cool tools.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Before we go, I suppose we should reference really quick that people can also see us on a new video that's not a walkabout talk about. This one we actually intended on, and it's a great bike video.
Yeah, so we recently met up over at your house and went for an awesome bike ride to make a video for my biking vlog called Like It to Bike It with Micah, which I've made like maybe 8 of them or something like that. And they're all designed to celebrate biking. And my intention with that is to get people thinking about biking, because if they see someone biking, they're more likely to get on their own bike. And I think that if people are biking, I think everyone's head's just going to work better and everyone's going to be happier. And I think the world will just be a better place if everyone's biking for so many reasons. And this episode, Scott, you had the wonderful idea of showing people how to get from one state trail by your house, the Stowers Seven Lakes State Trail, to another state trail that's more in St. Croix Falls called the Gandy Dancer State Trail. And so,
yeah,
which I thought was a great idea. Not just let's see Scott and Micah messing around on bikes giggling, but have a little practical purpose behind it.
It isn't an intuitive route. It's not something that people would really know how to get between the two unless they had maps. I suppose Google Maps can help, but like, other than that, it isn't that route that we're showing them. It's a good one, and it's literally the most efficient route to get between the two.
Yeah, and I think, too, someone might not even think to bike between the two.
No.
So this is going to plant that seed. And we had some fun.
Oh, yeah. It was a great time filming it. We even got a little mountain biking in our filming, and I was impressed about how you set all the shots, and we're very intentional, but also I was still basically having a fun bike ride, and I loved it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah. And we did what? Was it 26 miles?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
26-mile bike ride. We hung out for 7 hours or something like that. And it was just a good time. And I'm excited. I haven't begun editing too much yet, but now that we've done this podcast, I'm like, I better get on the horse here and get it rocking. I'm excited to relive the bike ride, though, is what I'm saying. So I'm excited to see the footage and watch it come together.
Same. Well, before we go, do you have anything that you'd like to say to that listener right there? That's right there across the screen or speaker, or I suppose both if they're watching.
Oh my gosh. My chance for an open-ended question to say something to the people watching.
Directly.
Let's see here. I have to say, just take a deep breath, enjoy being alive. The present moment's all you ever need, and thanks for being present with us.
Namaste to that. Thank you, Micah, for joining me so much today. This has been really enlightening, and it's just great to hear how communication for you is about the joy you find in community, or at least that's what's shining through to me today.
Yeah, I do love connecting with people. I think being connected is the ultimate joy in life, and people are fairly easy to connect with if you just give a chance.
I love it.
And that's it for this episode of Who's This For? Remember, whether you're creating music, brands, experiences, or stories, it's all about focusing on that one person, you. I'm Scott Morfitt, and you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you next time on Who's This For?